How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid Group. And I must say, it performed fairly well considering how choppy the markets were. It did end up having a red day, but it is continuing to consolidate and respect the areas of support what we are looking for. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know those key levels in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and the short interest information. The reason why the short interest is important, it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the Friday. We know the markets were extremely volatile and we want to see how well it could potentially hold up, especially going into Monday and as the week progresses. And then after all of that is done, we're going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $51.72, being down 1.62%. On the low, it tested $49.41, and then on the high, testing $52.37. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 36.708 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 118.021 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the Friday, but that is of no surprise due to the fact we did have a short day. It was also the holiday week, and we also had news around the variant that's been going around and so forth. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right at 62.54. And then when we take a look at the moving averages here in our chart, we have strength above the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA holding up this nice uptrend we have been experiencing as of late. So like I've been talking about in my previous videos, we want to see Lucid being able to hold up the $50 level. On the Friday, it ended up testing $49.41, but we had buyers that came in and they just started buying up that dip. And of course, as far as the high was concerned, reaching at $52.37, you could see this has been an area of resistance right here at this 52.50 level. So what you'd want to see going in on Monday is Lucid getting past 52.50 so we can make that move and then try to get past here at 54 and then essentially getting here to 55. Price action above 55 along with more volume coming into the play will get us to that short-term price target of $60 plus for this play. So that's one thing that you want to be aware of. Now, as far as for where it tested at 49.41, I would look out for this because if it decides to pull back even further, then I'll be looking for strength right at that $49 level. And if it pulls back even more, then I'm going to be looking for some strength right here around the 47.50 area. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we could see here, taking a look at the recent filings for November the 26th, we have DSPC that purchased 4,723 shares. We also have Victory Variable Insurance Funds that purchased 1,779 shares. And we also have US Mix that purchased just over 87,000 shares. We also do see we have USSPX that purchased just under 170,000 shares. We also have JetSX that purchased 36,280 shares. We also have JNL Series Trust that purchased just under 210,000 shares. And this was also on the 24th. I know I said I was just going to cover the 26th, but we could see institutions have been loading up from the filings. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume volume ratios at 44.77%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 8 million shares. As we scroll down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 19 minutes ago, and then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 0.54%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 24th, which was the Wednesday that just passed, it was at 54.50, and then for the Friday that just passed on the 26th being at 44.77. So we do see a reduction in the short interest. So this is going to be a very interesting situation coming in on Monday. If we're able to hold up that $50 area of support and we see continued consolidation along with the short squeeze potential in this stock, we can see a move to the upside, and it's part of the reasons why I want you to keep this on your radar. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 394, and then on the outflow, it's at 423. So we end up having an outflow day. When we take a look at the breakdown even further, on the large, it was 13.39. On the medium, it was 200, and then it was 181 on the small. Keep in mind, these numbers are in the millions. When we take a look at the outflow side, it was 6.26 on the large, and on the medium, it was 224, and then on the small, it was 192. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the Friday that just passed, it was at 7.13. So institutions were loading up. When we take a look at the breakdown even further, you can see for the small scale orders, which represents the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. But when we take a look at what happened on the large, we had more buying than we had selling, which potentially could represent institutions. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 2.23%. So this is not too bad whatsoever. We know there's a lot of traders going in and out of the play, and we also do know many are holding on to their positions. But for the most part, Lucid is continuing to look good going into the Monday, and the volatility will continue, and it's going to be very important to pay attention to what the market conditions look like, because it will have an impact on the stock. So now let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid going into Monday, you want to pay attention to the following areas: $50, $49, and $47.50. If it ends up breaking through $47.50, this is where you have a good amount of risk to the downside, and I'm talking about this from a trading perspective. If we continue to hold up the $50 level and we just consolidate, then of course, if the markets are strong, I can see a good move up to where we can reach that short-term price target of $60 and up. Again, this is all going to be dependent on volume, because when we saw in the order flow distribution, there was a lot of large scale orders, institutions that were loading up. So this is why I am very curious to see what's going to happen. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it also does continue to have short squeeze potential. So this is why I say a strong market could really help Lucid. If we continue to have a pullback inside of the market with all of the current things that are going down in regards to the new variant that has occurred, then I'm going to see this stock wanting to pull back, and that's why I want to see those support levels continue to have some strength. But like I said, the best case scenario is Lucid to continue to hold up $50, consolidate, and then have that move to the upside. So let's see how Lucid performs going into Monday. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.